It's been another busy week for space science and astronomy. In case you missed the daily short videos this week, here's a cut of all the stories in one. Please follow, drop a like, and consider subscribing on YouTube to support the channel and so you don't miss another space science update. In April of 2029, Apophis, a 350-meter wide stony asteroid, will pass a little more than 30,000 kilometers from Earth. This close flyby will provide an amazing opportunity to examine the asteroid in detail. NASA has already directed its renamed OSIRIS-APEX spacecraft to fly by the asteroid in April 2029 and then orbit and study it for 18 months starting that June. Now the European Space Agency is also moving to meet the asteroid. The Rapid Apophis Mission for Space Safety, or RAMESSES, is awaiting approval by ESA at a 2025 meeting. However, the mission will need to launch by early 2028 in order to rendezvous with Apophis, so work needs to begin immediately. Members of ESA have approved existing funds to allow work by OHB Italia to begin. In particular, they'll finalize the spacecraft design and start the procurement of any long lead time items that'll be needed. It'll be super interesting to see what we can learn from Apophis as it passes so close to Earth, and in particular what this might tell us about planetary defense from asteroids. The Moon contains one of the largest impact features in the solar system. Hidden from our view on Earth, the South Pole Aitken Basin is 2,500 kilometers in diameter and 6 to 8 kilometers deep. It's thought it was caused by an impactor that was 200 kilometers across. That's 20 times the size of the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs here on Earth. The impact history of Earth has largely been erased by plate tectonics and erosion, but by studying the history of the Moon, we can get useful clues about the bombardment history of Earth. One big outstanding question is, when did the SPA basin form? Using orbital data from NASA's Lunar Prospector and evidence from a meteorite called Northwest Africa 2995, researchers have been able to constrain the formation of the South Pole Aitken Basin to between 4.32 and 4.33 billion years ago. That's about 120 million years earlier than previous estimates of the heaviest period of bombardment. This is a super cool result, and it'll be interesting to see how it holds up as we gather more data on physical samples from the Moon on future lunar exploration missions. The formation of a black hole is usually a violent process, the result of a supernova explosion, but a new discovery is challenging that idea. Astronomers have observed a black hole as part of a triple system for the first time. V404 Cygnus is a black hole that is consuming a small star orbiting very close by, taking just 6.5 days to rotate once around the system. However, there's a second star orbiting the inner pair much further away, taking 70,000 Earth years to complete an orbit. Given the violent supernova that births the black hole, astronomers would expect any loosely bound objects this far out to be ejected. The fact the star is still orbiting suggests that black holes can come into existence in other more gentle ways. One theory is that a star could directly collapse without the dramatic explosion of a supernova. This is an exciting discovery for both stellar and black hole evolution, and astronomers are now attempting to discover similar triple systems that could help provide more clues as to how this process takes place. The paper's published in the journal Nature Astronomy. Stick around to find out about the new lunar Google Doodle, but first, SpaceX appears to be pushing ahead with plans for the 6th test flight of its massive Starship rocket. Super Heavy, the first stage of the rocket, was moved out to the pad for testing a couple days ago. This comes hot on the heels of the 5th test flight just a week ago, where SpaceX caught the Super Heavy booster on the launch tower. No official date yet for Test Flight 6, but SpaceX is also breaking records with its 105th launch of the year planned for later today, when a Falcon 9 lifts off from California at 10:13 a.m. Pacific. 2023 saw 98 SpaceX launches, and this year's total includes 2 Falcon Heavy and 3 Starship test flights. If you go to the Google search page today, you'll be greeted by the iconic Google Doodle, but today's new doodle is all about the Moon. You can play a fun card game to test your knowledge of the lunar cycle, and Google says it will be bringing back the Lunar Doodle every month at the same time. There's also a downloadable calendar of the lunar cycle. Scientists working in South Africa have uncovered evidence of an impact by a huge asteroid 200 times bigger than the one at Chicxulub that caused the extinction of the dinosaurs. The impact, which struck just off the coast of modern Cape Cod, dates from about 3.3 billion years ago, when life on Earth consisted of simple bacteria and archaea. The asteroid, called S2, would have created a massive tsunami and generated enormous amounts of heat that would have boiled the upper layers of the ocean. Debris would have been thrown into the atmosphere, causing a thick dust blanket that would have blocked out the sun. Whilst this would have been disastrous at a later time when complex organisms like dinosaurs roamed the Earth, the spike in the availability of iron dredged up from the seafloor and phosphorus delivered by the asteroid itself could have helped certain kinds of bacteria that metabolize iron to thrive and cause their populations to explode. This is a super cool piece of research and helps fill in some gaps in our understanding of the earliest parts of Earth's history. The paper is published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences.